I get it when you're planning that epic weekend trek or a quick city escape. The camera you pull out can make or break the whole experience. You've probably been scrolling through endless specs and glossy ads, wondering if you'll end up with a piece of tech that looks great on the shelf but leaves you frustrated in the field. I was in that exact spot a few weeks ago, juggling a backpack, a rainstorm, and a desire to capture both sunrise panoramas and the low-light buzz of a night market without lugging a massive rig. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, and I'm going to walk you through why the OM System OM5 Mark I might be the sweet spot between portability and performance, and when it might feel like a compromise. First off, the thing that struck me about the OM5 is how it feels like a camera built for out-of-the-box adventures. It's compact enough to slide into a small travel bag, yet the weather-sealed body gives you confidence that a sudden downpour won't ruin your day. I tested that claim on a rainy afternoon in the Pacific Northwest, and the camera kept shooting without any fogging or electronic hiccups. The image quality lived up to its unmatched claim. Two colors stayed true, highlights retained detail, and the dynamic range handled the contrast between a bright sky and a shadowed street quite nicely. That matters when you're juggling bright daylight on a mountaintop and dimly lit alleys on the same trip. You don't have to constantly switch lenses or fiddle with exposure compensation. Autofocus is another arena where the OM5 shows its teeth. The high-performance AF system locks onto subjects fast, even when you're moving. I tried tracking a cyclist weaving through a park trail, and the focus stayed on the rider without hunting. For video creators, that reliability is a lifesaver because you can run the unlimited 4K video recording and trust the camera to keep your subject sharp as you walk alongside them. The computational photography button adds a layer of creativity without diving deep into menus. You press it and you get an instant HDR blend or focus stack, perfect for those moments when you want a punchy landscape but don't have time to edit later. Now, let's talk about the practical side of everyday use. Battery life on mirrorless cameras can be a gamble, especially when you're shooting video back-to-back. While the OM5 doesn't come with a massive battery pack, the battery I used lasted me through a full day of mixed stills and 4K footage, roughly 800 to 900 shots before I needed to recharge. That's decent for a travel-focused body, but if you're planning marathon shooting sessions, say a full-day documentary shoot, you'll want a spare or two on hand. The menu system is clean and not overly cluttered, but there's a learning curve if you've never dealt with a camera that leans heavily on computational tools. The dedicated button for those functions helps, yet you'll still spend a few minutes getting comfortable with the custom settings layout. Who should actually consider the OM5? If you're a hobbyist who loves to explore new places and wants a camera that can handle both stills and video without you having to carry a bag of lenses, this is a solid contender. The 1245mm f/4.0 lens that comes with the kit covers wide-angle to short telephoto, meaning you can capture sweeping vistas, street scenes, and modest portraits without swapping glass. The weather sealing makes it ideal for outdoor travel, wildlife spotting, or even just those unexpected rain showers. Content creators who need unlimited 4K video without worrying about a 30-minute clip limit will appreciate the freedom to shoot longer vlogs or travel diaries straight from the camera. On the flip side, there are scenarios where the OM5 might feel limiting. Professionals who rely on a deep ecosystem of lenses for specialty work like ultra-wide architecture shots, macro detail, or high-speed sports might find the current M.ZUIKO lineup a bit restrictive compared to larger systems. Also, if you demand the absolute best low-light performance with a very large sensor, you may notice a bit more noise at high ISO than on full-frame counterparts. The camera's body, while sturdy, doesn't have the same heft that some shooters associate with stability, so if you prefer a heavier grip for handheld video work, you might need an external rig or gimbal. Another subtle point is the lack of a built-in flash. For spontaneous indoor moments, you'll have to rely on natural light, a portable LED, or a separate flash unit. That's not a deal-breaker for most travel photographers, but if you frequently shoot events in dim venues, it's something to keep in mind. The computational photography button is a great shortcut, yet it does mean you're leaning on the camera's processing engine to produce the final image, which can limit RAW flexibility if you prefer to handle HDR or focus stacking manually in post. Overall, the OM System OM5 Mark I feels like a well-rounded travel companion. Its combination of compact size, weather sealing, reliable autofocus, and unlimited 4K video gives